Do you find yourself wondering what the best diet for fat loss is? Well, on today's episode, we are going to talk about what the absolute best way to lose fat is, so you don't want to miss it.
Ooh, we got a good one. Might be a little controversial.
Maybe not. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
How's it going for you?
It is going good. I'm locking in more.
You're locking it. Me too.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about that on the last episode.
Yeah.
I'm plugged into your matrix.
Yeah.
You can start Coach Mike.
It's like I'm redoing it all over again.
Yeah. What do you mean?
No, just locking back in mentally. Mm-hmm. I was a little loose, a little, cruising.
When you say a little loose, what does that mean?
That means that I'm not really watching it on our cheat day. Mm-hmm, and I've grazed here and there on chips, and I shouldn't be doing that. Nothing crazy, but just I shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah, me too.
That's a bad habit. That's old habits. That's what I tell people when I coach them. Is I tell you, like, your brain always wants to go back to old habits. That's why you need a while. You need a long time to break that habit. Like, all right, why am I doing that? I should just go get a cups, get a serving, and do that. Be done with it.
And log it. Yeah.
Yes.
We do the grazing because we think we can get away without logging it that way.
Yeah. Cheating.
Yeah.
We're cheating, so.
Yeah, and I think it's good to, you have to, and I think this is a really good lesson for people who are listening. It doesn't matter whether you hire a coach or whatever, but if you want to do this for a lifelong thing and stop yo-yoing, you have to plug in some sort of accountability piece.
You have to.
Whether it's a significant other, an accountability partner, a program, a group fitness class, a Facebook group, whatever it is, you have to have something because that's how we are as humans. You can't.
Well, I always say this. There's a reason society has laws to keep us in line. If there was no laws, it would be a mess. Do people break those laws and go out? For sure. So you have to create laws within yourself.
Yeah.
And you have to have somebody to govern those laws. And that's the accountability person. Like, all right, I'm governing the laws. You broke the law. You gotta.
Boundaries.
We need them. It's just the way the humans are. It's crazy. We've been through like that throughout humanity.
I know. So we can't stop. We can't try to reinvent the wheel. We have to work with how we are and learn to navigate how we operate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, before we get too far down that rabbit hole, we got some housekeeping to do. First of all, we haven't talked about it in a minute, but we do have a Patreon show called Off Topic. It is our unfiltered, uncensored show. It's not as much about the nutrition and fitness kind of stuff.
No.
It's about everything, like everything under the sun. It tends to be therapy. I love that show, but if you're interested, it's $7 a month. It's a great way to support us. I know a lot of people, they wonder, how can we support you? Not everybody is meant to be your client.
True.
Some people are meant to support in other ways. Like you guys listening to the show, watching this show, commenting on this show, that's support.
Yes. That's true.
Not everybody has to support us financially, but if you're looking for a small way to help, it does help us out, and that's our show on Patreon, which we do love. So I had to say that. Also, you can support us by following our candidly_with_coffee Instagram page. And then also leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. That's another way you can support us as well.
Yes.
So we really do appreciate that. And we are rounding out here 5 days left of my registration for my 8-week Body Boot Camp Challenge. It's an 8-week weight loss program, #1 rated. Everybody that does that program loves it. Most people are on their 3rd or 4th round. I've got some repeats even way from back when. And it only opens up once every 2 months. So if you don't get into this one, it's not going to be till September.
Yeah. Might as well get in, get the ball rolling.
Don't get FOMO. When the doors are closed,
They're done.
They're closed. So the link will be here on the screen. It will also be down in the description. You can head over to my website, JanineEscobar.com, or you can check out my Instagram, JS Body Bootcamp. But get in. It is very cost effective. You get way more than you pay for, in my opinion. I mean, just the coach calls alone, the Zoom calls.
Oh, yeah.
The coach support in the app, the community support, the macros. I mean, the list goes on. You get a lot.
You do. And you're part of a community that holds you accountable. You guys lift each other up, because there's always those naysayers out there that aren't part of a community like that always want to hold you down and hold you back.
Yeah, exactly. So I definitely recommend that. It's also a really great way to see what coaching would be like, because you do get the Esco Elite app, and we do have a platinum one-on-one coaching program, but it's the same app. So you can kind of see like, hey, I want to get an idea of what this is like before I make that investment. It's a really great way.
Yep.
It's like a coaching light, as I like to think about it. But
when's the last time you switched your budget around? If you're spending cash on eating out and buying clothes, but you don't want to spend a bit on your health, what are you even doing? Every day, from the moment you wake up until you go to bed, you have a series of choices that will make or break you. The things you eat, your physical activity or lack thereof, your sleep, it all adds up. Personally, I care about what I put in my body, and I've found that it's hard to put a price on feeling like you're ready to take on the world every day. That's why I leverage the power of hormone optimization and fully customized peptide protocols from Transcend. If you're ready to take your health to the next level, head over to the link transcendcompany.com/ESCOElite and fill out an intake form today.
I do have some hot coffee topics I want to talk about today.
Oh, do you?
Yes. First and foremost, I got a text message from Michelle today. You know Michelle, my niece.
Yes.
She was on a couple of episodes of Candidly with Coffee.
Yep.
And she got her little virtual 30-day sober chip today.
Good for her. Mm-hmm. Good for her. She got through the first 30 days.
30 days. First time since she was a teenager, so like in 15, 16 years, that she has spent 30 days alcohol-free.
And did you ask her how she feels?
Yeah, it's hard right now.
Okay.
She still gets shakes. She's really anxious about the holiday.
Yeah. So what's her plan?
Her plan is to not have any access.
Don't put yourself in that environment.
Yeah. No access. So she's basically staying at home. There's no
Good.
alcohol there.
Good. She's not missing nothing. It's just another day.
Yeah. She decided that because of a couple things. Because of listening to her first episode where she was on listening to herself talk about her alcohol, her binge drinking.
Yeah.
And then when she came back on the second episode that she did here in the green chairs, actually, she said, I haven't told anyone this, but I think that I'm going to get rid of my alcohol when I get home and I'm going to try going on a sobriety journey. And she did. So here she is, 30 days.
Good for her. That's all it takes sometimes. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you got to just cold turkey this shit.
Yeah.
It sucks, but that works for me. Cold turkey. Forget teetering. Like with weed, I had a cold turkey. Like, see you. I'm done with it.
Yeah.
It's too hard to do it the other way.
Yeah, you can't. A true addict that their tendency is binge drinking.
Yeah, forget it.
You cannot. They have to be an abstainer.
Yes.
It also goes. It's the same with food in a lot of ways, and with food addiction. Not that I'm trying to compare the two because they are very different, but there are two types of issues with food. There are some people that they need a little bit of something so that they don't go crazy and lose control around it. But there are some people with the binge eating tendencies that have to be abstainers.
Yeah.
And abstainers means no access. So you can't have a bite of something, you will eat the entire thing.
Yep.
It's a disorder.
Yeah. I feel like I got a chip addiction, but I keep it in check. But if I don't, like if I just go all out and rebel for whatever reason, I'll crush a whole big bag. No problem.
What I remember one time, Alyssa and I were we were all at a family party. I have never seen somebody tear up an entire bag of a full bag of Doritos faster. You just kept pouring it and pouring it. At least Alyssa's like, look at Mike.
You see that? You see what I'm saying?
It was crazy.
Hindsight's 2020.
Whoa.
But those are like my absolute favorites.
Doritos?
But I don't have them.
Because that's what it was. It was Doritos.
Yeah. Because from my childhood, eating them.
Yeah.
Used to tear bags of deli sandwich, my soda, my Coke, and a big bag. Big Grab. Remember the Big Grab?
The Big Grabs.
They don't have those no more. I don't think.
Yeah, 7-Eleven probably has them.
But that's that was my go-to right there. And maybe a Snickers bar. But I was so goddamn skinny because I was active. I walked all over San Francisco. I played basketball. So I can get away with eating that stuff. But no, I don't. That's what I'm saying. Like, look, I tell people just like addictions come in all fucking forms.
Yeah.
And food addiction is real. It's not fake. It's real.
Yeah, you have to be careful, I think, just because your addictive tendencies, it could absolutely trickle into other things.
It did. Look what I used to look like. What happened? You got with me? I was fit training. I went back to my old habits. Mm-hmm. Started eating burritos like the old days. Drinking like the old days, partying. I still work out, but that wasn't enough. You can't outwork a diet. And the weight started creeping up again out of nowhere. And before you know it, 220, 230, 240. Whoa, how'd I get here? It just crept up. Yeah, because those old addictions come back and you start going back to your old habits. The brain always wants to go back to what it knows.
Yeah, you have to constantly course correct.
Always.
And the weight that you stayed at the longest, that's what your brain will get you back to. It's not really, people call it a set point, and it's just a name to describe it. But what it is that if, say you've been 150 pounds for 10 years, you kind of gain and lose, but you always stay around that. It's because all of your habits and routines and tendencies keep you around that weight.
Yep.
You know what I mean? There's not some internal programming that says Janine has to be 150. It's because you've been that weight the longest. So all of your habits, routines, the volume you serve yourself, the way you eat, your meal times, they support that weight.
Yes.
Because you've been there the longest. So it's just solid. And that's why it always feels like you stay around the same weight. It has to do with habits and routines and how long you've been in those particular habits and routines. So when you try to switch that, it's hard. You always have the tendency to go back.
Yeah. What do I always preach on? You always want to go to the path of the least resistance.
Yeah.
You don't want to go on the hard path. The hard path is giving all that up. Like, ugh, damn, I got to give up burrito. My favorite, and I gave them up. Not that I can't eat them. I just naturally just gave them up. Isn't that weird? I said at least once a week I'd have a burrito. I don't have those no more.
You kind of got on a taco kick, which is much more.
Well, you know what it was with Taco Kick is we talked about it so much, listening to your ass, and it all just makes sense because it is macro friendly. It's a tortilla and meat, and you can have those and not go overboard.
Yeah.
And have seafood on the side as well for extra protein and be full and be content.
Yeah.
A burrito is going to fill them up, yes, but that's a ton of calories. Bang for the buck, it's not worth it. Maybe get 50 grams of protein out of a 1,500 calorie burrito. It's not worth it.
Yeah, and you're lucky if it's only 1,500 calories.
That's not if you add a guacamole, sour cream, cheese, and then they stuff it with rice and beans and the tortilla and the meat. You're right.
You know how you get a good idea of how much calories are when you try to make things at home. So because if I try to make a burrito at home, like a macro-friendly burrito, once I add all of the measured things I want in it, it's about 800 calories, and it's small.
Small.
So you think like this thing is
tiny.
3 times bigger and not clean ingredients, probably some oils and other things. You know,
hidden stuff.
You're hard pressed to find a burrito that's less than 1,500 calories, probably closer to 2,000 calories.
When you told me that, I was like, nah, I didn't want to believe it, but you're right. Now that what I know, and even listen, I'll even make another example. Even going to Chipotle and you let them make you a bowl the way they make it, and then you look at the stats up there, they are way off by far.
Oh, I know.
Those bowls are like 1,500 calories.
Yeah.
How much rice they pack in, how much beans they pack in.
So that's why it's good to cook at home, because you start to get an idea for how many calories things are. So like even when we would go, which I love them, I actually want to go there again soon, maybe on a cheat day, like a cleaner cheat, Mykonos Grill.
Yeah.
So those plates are good, but I reverse engineered what the macros are for it, and it's about 1,000 calories for that. And it's chicken breast with rice. I mean, it looks like it would be, oh, this is so clean, but still 1,000 calories for that.
That's the problem is people always think like, and you heard this, so have I, like, but I eat healthy, but I eat organic, but those aren't free calories, bro.
Yeah.
So, okay, you do all that. Cool. You shop organic. You go to Whole Foods, whatever. You eat the cleanest ingredients. They're still not free calories, bro. You don't get a pass because you're eating that stuff. Your body doesn't know, okay, might be a little better, but your body still knows energy.
Right. So the thing is this. If you want to eat organic because that's what you prefer, like some people just have different thresholds for what's important to them. And if organic is important to you, if avoiding certain oils and certain ingredients is important to you, that's fine, but you still have to know how much of those things that you can take in for your goals.
Yes.
Doesn't matter if it's gluten-free, organic, dairy-free, vegan. You still have to know, okay, I can have X amount of calories per day of this super ultra clean, amazing food.
Yeah.
You still have to know how much of it to put inside of your machine.
True.
Or you're not going to get results.
Facts. You do.
You know? It's true.
It's
But
like-
anyways, I wanted to pipe in on one more hot topic before we
for
get
it.
too far down
Yeah.
that rabbit hole. I was watching Instagram. So another previous guest of Candidly with Coffee, Zenaida Carrasco, which these are her bracelets that she made me when she was on the show. She's a little girl battling cancer. Sadly, she's still in her battle. She's undergoing treatment right now. And I saw on Instagram, her mom posted that they literally had to halt the treatment because the insurance did not approve the claim because the medication that could save her life was not officially FDA approved. So can you believe that?
So we're going to get real technical now, and you're going to risk this girl's life for that.
So what I want to know is what guy in a suit in the office is saying denied, and what kind of person are you?
The insurance said that?
Insurance is denying it, but who is actually looking at this case? This little
Someone
girl
with no heart, greedy, is number crunching for the company.
just cares about a number.
That's all they care about. I hate to say it, but they don't care about you guys.
They don't.
Insurance companies could give two shits about us. They care
Or
about
the
this.
FDA for that matter. It's
They
all
give
money.
It's all money. It really is. It's all this.
I was so bothered. Like I literally lost my appetite when I saw that story. We were eating the hamburgers and
Yeah.
it bothered me so bad. I like dropped my burger. You know,
made you
luckily
angry.
they have amazing family support, the Carrasco family, and the family was able to pull together the funds for them to do the treatment. But what about the people that can't? You know what I mean?
There's lots of them.
I'm trying to think of if I was in those shoes. Those were the moments that you freaking go rob a bank.
You do?
Or do something
Well, I mean,
drastic. You know, my heart just goes out to the whole situation. I reached out. I'm like, hey, is there anything I can do? Is there a GoFundMe? She goes, no, our family, you know, they got it taken care of. But she was like just putting it out there just so people knew like what they were going through, which I think is amazing.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Grammy, man.
she does make these bracelets if you want to support her little business. I love my bracelets. I wear them quite frequently. And we'll put the website up on the screen, but it's z.jewelrybox.com, I believe, is Zenaida's little business. She's a entrepreneur.
She's a tough little girl. She fights. And listen, she could do the poor little woe me.
Yeah.
But she doesn't. She handles business. I seen her training and doing boxing and stuff. I was like, damn, look at this little girl.
Mindset.
Yeah. And what her thing was like, I'm going to live every day to
Never
the fullest.
give up is
Yep.
her thing. Like, never give up. It's going to be okay. And, you know, yeah, the family's motto is we got to live for today. Like we can't focus on what might happen, what could happen. We got to
Yeah.
focus on living in the moment.
Yeah.
And still,
I love that.
Yeah.
But everybody around here is like always like in their feelings or, oh, life's so hard. Like, really, bro? Are you fighting
not that
cancer?
hard. Yeah.
You got 2 legs, 2 arms. You're able-bodied. Why can't you take your ass to the gym? I preach that. I know it sounds like a broke record, but there's people that would love to be able to train. You
Yeah.
get to be able to train.
No, I know.
You don't want to. You get to be able to live your life how you want to. But yeah, you're over here finding excuses for everything.
Yeah, I don't want to. I just try to check myself. Like, I have nothing to complain about.
No, I don't want to complain about nothing.
No.
I've been there too, but what am I? No, that's whack. The fuck I want to think. I'm able-bodied. Every morning I'm awake. I love listening to the birds chirping on the porch every morning. It lets me know like they're happy, I'm happy. I'm alive, I'm breathing. I get to fight another day.
It is no secret to you guys by now how much I love my 1UP Nutrition supplements. They are a part of my daily routine, from the daily cleanse and the Gut Health Plus that help keep my digestion on point, to their protein powders that I incorporate into so many different recipes. The ISO protein is very easy to digest and only 110 calories per scoop. The whey protein is delicious. The flavors are so good and always have little extra crunchy cookie pieces in them that just take the flavor to the next level. Their powders like the Pure Rebuild and the pre-workout are a staple in my daily workout routine. Their flavors are amazing. I'm alcohol free these days, but I swear when I drink some of these flavors from 1UP, I actually feel like I'm having a delicious mocktail. Their products are third-party tested, so you know what you're getting. They're made in the USA. If you use code Janine at checkout for a discount. That's JEANINE.
Agree. All right. So now let's get into the top of the show. I was talking about what the best diet is for you to lose body fat.
Let's get into it.
And what I have to say about that, a little clickbaity, sorry, But there's lots of different ways in which to establish a calorie deficit, but all roads lead to a calorie deficit.
All roads.
All roads.
Every single one.
The medications, fasting, counting calories, restricting certain food groups. If they result in fat loss, it is because you have established a calorie deficit. So then the question becomes, well, which one of those should you do? Do you know the answer to that?
The one that works best for you. We always say that.
The one that works best for you. Now, we talk frequently about
Or
macros.
the one that you can sustain. Longevity.
We talk about macros, right? So that's our method. That's our preferred method. I put my clients on macros. If macro tracking is not for you, if that's not what you want to do in order to lose weight, by all means, try another method, but we're not the coaches for you.
Bingo.
If you do not want to track macros, and even in our most simplified way that we help you and in the balance that you have, then we're not for you, and that's okay too. But I just want to make super clear that that's our method. So if you want to do the, close your eyes and cross your fingers and pray method, then find that coach that does that.
Yes. Take your money. Here's your program. Good luck. We'll check in once every couple of weeks and we'll see, you're not having results, so go ahead. You wave the pom-poms and you're still stagnant or even worse. I mean, there's a lot of those out there too.
Yeah, but it's true though. I mean, some people can find a lot of success in fasting. It works like, they do different methods of fasting, alternate day fasting or time restricted eating or whatever.
Yeah.
That's, there's different ways to achieve the same thing.
I mean, you could do this. Speaking of fasting, you could do the whole 12-8 or even 18. So say you don't eat for 18 hours. All right, cool. You have 2 meals. Figure out the calories for your 2 favorite meals and just eat those every day. And then when you're ready for some new meals, figure those out and do it the next day. And just keep flipping that around. That way you don't have to obsess over tracking.
Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of different ways within it. There's lots of different ways within it. I personally, and I've tried many different ways as well. I've done them all, I think. But I personally landed here because of the ability to remain consistent. I like to not have anything restricted.
Yes.
I like to be able to eat when I want, what I want, how I want, and still look and feel my best. That's why we developed this program, because it's what we truly believe in. But I always want to make sure that, like, when we have clients coming to us, that they know that that's our method.
Yeah.
Because do you find sometimes that someone might, it's like they want to hire you because they want to look like you. But then they hire you maybe and think, okay, I want to look like you, but I don't want to do your method. I want to do my way. But can you make me look like you? Like, well, no, you got the wrong coach.
No, you got the wrong coach. What in the right mind thinks that you're going to do your way when your way never worked?
Yeah.
Like, look at you, bro. Like, let's be honest. Like, pull your shirt up and let's see.
Yeah.
Does your way work? Because if I followed your way, then I would look like you.
Right. So that's just a reminder that whatever method you do choose, and I'm not just talking about us. If you decide, it's not like this. If you decide, you know what, I want to try fasting, so I'm gonna go to a coach that specializes in fasting. Then you go to that coach that's a fasting coach and go, hey, I don't want to fast though, but I'm gonna hire you as my coach. Like, no, that's you gotta put your ego to the side, put what you think you know, and you're gonna go to this particular coach and you are going to apply their methods, which would be fasting and the different methods of fasting that they put you on. But I just think it's a common thing over the years. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, and it's not uncommon that, I give people what their macros are or whatever, and they automatically go, oh no, I mean, these are not my right macros. Well, how do you know what your right macros are? Because you hired me because you are not where you need to be. So you don't know what those numbers are, or else you would not need me.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure. Exactly.
Like, I need you to just trust me because you paid me, and just kind of like...
That's the arrogance in people, in humans. They always think they know something they don't. Like, listen, did you go to school for it? Are you educated? What's your background? Show me your degree. Show me what you studied. Elaborate. Let's see. Enlighten me.
But I mean, you don't even need to do all that.
I know. I'm just saying. I like to fucking call them out straight up. That's what I'm really doing. I'm trying to be nice. But I'm really being a dick because like don't tell me what my job, my game. I don't tell you how to do your work. I don't go to your job and tell you should do this, this, and this, and that when I don't even know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
We have clients of all different trades and do different types of work that we don't understand their game. So I don't even bother.
I don't even pretend to.
No, so I won't even try. So why would you pretend you know what we're doing?
I think it's like
how we're doing it.
It's like a panic. Sometimes there's a panic. There's a panic that happens when you realize it's kind of like you know what I think about, and this is how I try to put myself in their shoes, because when I first got into the fitness world and I hired Matt, and I'm like, yes, like I want to look like these fitness girls. This is what I want to look like, but I never knew what it took. Yeah. And then when I thought, how bad could it be, right? He's going to say, I'm going to give you your meal plan. When he gave me my meal plan and I looked at it, like I had a big lump in my throat. And I kind of like had a panic moment, like, oh no.
What did I just sign up for?
Yeah. I was like.
That's why I remember one of my friends who was a pro bodybuilder.
Yep.
Ex-NFL player.
Yep.
He laughed like, remember?
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, good luck. Everybody says they want to look a certain way or they can do this.
Yeah, he goes, but you can't. He goes, but can you do the diet? And I was like, yeah. And then I looked at it and I was like, oh, shoot.
And people don't realize that diet is super, macros has nothing on it as far as
But guess what, though? But I did what I expect other people to do. I just paid this man to learn what he knows so that I can get to where he says I will be if I follow what he knows.
Yeah.
So whether I liked it or not, I did it. And guess what? I got to where he said I would go if I followed what he told me to do. It's that freaking
And it
simple.
worked, right?
It worked.
You stepped on stage not once, but twice.
Twice. It worked.
Twice.
So
a woman of two kids.
The problem is you lose people somewhere in between the, okay, I'm going to do it anyways, even though it's hard and even though it's different than I've ever done before. And I'm not sure if this will work for me. You don't fully trust. So you lose people half the way. If you got to fully trust the process. It's so cliche.
People they think because, I don't know if it's the era or what, the Amazon Prime era, but it's like, bro, you didn't pack that weight on overnight. Mm-hmm. You did damage probably years and months. It's going to take a while to undo that damage.
Yeah.
And undo the damage in your brain that you created. Mm-hmm. The wiring of your brain, the thought process. You have to unthink a lot of the old shit you learned.
And because if you don't, you'll just go back.
Yeah, always.
You gain it back.
What they say, old habits die hard.
Yeah.
It's true. I've been there, done that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a whole other topic. I mean, that's kind of like a whole other thing.
Sure,
it's managing expectations.
Yeah.
Because it sucks, because it is slow.
Yes.
Fat loss is slow.
Yes.
I was actually talking to a client today.
Not only that, it's slow, babe, but listen, another thing that people always say, I follow people online, they go, this shit's boring. You have to do the same shit every day, day in, day out. But it gets you results. Mm-hmm. You got to get up early. You got to get your steps. You got to get to the gym. Sounds repetitive, but guess what? Rinse, repeat. A year goes by, you're like, whoa, what did I do in a year? Look at you. Exactly.
I don't find it to be boring, though.
No, me neither, but some people, they don't find joy in it. You didn't used to, let's be honest, you didn't used to find joy in working out.
That's true.
You kind of dreaded it. I always found joy in working out. I go to the gym like, I get to do battle with myself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see what I feel like today. We'll see how I feel. Some days I don't feel my best. Some days I feel like, I'm clicking. It's just the way it goes. I get through it. But I just make it a fun place. If I'm not feeling it like mentally, I'm like, all right, we'll pick 4 different things and just go through them, superset them.
Yeah, just get it done.
Yeah, just get them done. Don't rest long. Get stimulated. Break that sweat.
One of the biggest challenges, and what I was going to say is I was talking to a client earlier, and it's just really hard to accept that fat loss is slow, but fat gain is fast.
Fast.
Yeah, I was trying to put
out of the two?
I was trying to put it into perspective. Like, for example, it is really freaking hard to be in a deficit for the day of 1,000 calories. It's hard. If you're like, hey, you need to create a deficit of 1,000 calories today. So if my total daily energy expenditure is about, on a workout day, maybe 2,000, 2,100 calories, in order to create 1,000 calorie deficit, I can only eat about 1,000 calories that day.
That's tough.
That's hard to do. But think about it in reverse. To create 1,000 calorie surplus, all I'd have to do on top of my regular day of eating is like go to the donut shop and get 2 donuts.
2 big ass donuts.
Like that. Gone in about 5 minutes. Doesn't even touch your satiety.
Nope.
Done. Like that. but you have to suffer at 1,000 calories to create 1,000 calorie deficit. And that's why it feels like that. That's why it feels like we gain fast but lose slow, because it's true. You do.
It's crazy the way we're designed, our bodies.
Yeah.
Like, I know humans get mad, like, why weren't we designed to be furnaces, like burn everything we eat?
What were did you ever do any crazy method to lose weight, like back in the day?
Crazy method.
Like what did you ever diet or try to lose weight
Yeah,
when you
I
were
did.
younger? How?
Just cut back. That's all I knew. I didn't know. Just cut back of what I was eating. Look at what I was eating and cut back on certain things.
That's smart.
The one thing that I did at 19 years old is I gave up soda. I mean, I still drink soda, but I said, Diet Coke. Oops. And then I just cut back on certain things. I mean, instead of burritos every day, I cut that back. Instead of 5 days a week, I cut back to maybe twice a week. Little stuff.
That's so funny because
Pizza throughout the week, I'd cut that out.
when I was 18, I gave up regular soda for diet soda too. That's when I
Yeah.
started drinking diet soda.
Me
And I
too.
lost weight. I lost some weight. I was right out of high school.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool. Wow. I felt thin. Like I remember losing a significant amount of weight by just making that change.
Yeah. Soda can do a lot of damage itself. Regular Coke.
Yeah,
and
because
and you're
people don't-
smacking like 2, 3, 4 cans out a day. It does a ton of damage.
They
People
do not
realize that.
connect. They
Ton of
think you
damage.
just drink it in and pee it out. Like
No.
they don't connect it to fat gain.
No, but not only fat gain, it will give you diabetes quick. So there's a program that I watched one time about Coca-Cola. They're in a certain part of Mexico in the mountains. These people are indigenous Mexicans. They're like Indians. It's crazy. There's a plant there. These people, all they do every day, day in, day out, we'll have to find it, drink Coca-Cola. And their health is atrocious. You know what the people are saying? How uninformed they are? They ask them, like, why are so many people dying from diabetes? They're dropping like flies over there.
Yeah.
One lady says, because people are argue and fight too much.
Oh my gosh. But think about it though.
People argue and fight too much, and that's why they're dropping like flies, and their health is atrocious over there. They're down in, they sell, not cans, these bottles. They're almost like just a little bit less than 2 liters, or like 1.5 liters, and they're down on those left and right over there.
Well, if you think about it, if you are drinking fluid and it's a constant flow of sugar, it's almost like an IV line
Yes.
of sugar all day, your
Yes.
blood sugar stays elevated
Yeah.
the entire time,
Yes.
and your body's just pumping out insulin. I mean, of course,
So
absolutely.
what happens? You become insulin resistant.
And then it leads to diabetes.
There you go.
Yeah.
So my mother had type 2. And they don't realize what they're doing. They're not hardly drinking any water. Every case out there is full of Coca-Cola. Their competitor, Pepsi, nobody really buys Pepsi. Why? Because there's a Coca-Cola plant. There's Coca-Cola chairs. There's everything. They push it on these people. It's kind of sad. They need to be exposed for that.
Why not diet?
Zero, none.
I wonder why not. They
I
have
don't know.
access
Regular
to diet.
Coca-Cola, yes. I don't get that either. Like, okay, you want these people to continue to drink Coke? You're killing them, and they need to be exposed for that. What they're doing, that
Yeah.
plant.
I didn't know that. Where did you see this?
They employ them, so they create jobs. It's on YouTube. I wish I knew exactly. It's in a little town in Mexico, like rural Mexico, and these people are they're like all addicts walking around Coca-Cola everywhere. There's like see that table? Coca-Cola. These chairs, Coca-Cola. That's all they're drinking. That's all they see all day long. They don't know any better what they're doing, but they're blaming their health on other things.
Yeah, it's just they don't know.
No, it's sad. It's crazy. It just pisses me off because my culture is very uninformed, the Latino culture. They always blame genetics or big bone, this and that. No, it's the way you guys eat. Sorry. Mexicans and Latinos, it's you guys, the way you eat.
Yeah, so when somebody says, "Oh, I'm like this because it's genetic, because my whole family's like this," but
Yes.
it's lifestyle though. It's because your whole family leads a certain lifestyle.
There you go.
It doesn't mean you are genetically predisposed to it. It's because of the way your family eats, the way they move, the way they don't
Yeah.
exercise or prioritize movement,
No.
things like that. It's the way they live.
Yep.
That leads to that. That's why it's generational.
Yep.
It's because kids follow suit with what their parents are doing, right?
And we thought, for some reason or another, we were just taught like elders know better than us, right? They're smarter. They've been around Earth longer. They've been here before us. They don't know jack shit. Taking advice from them is atrocious, especially my community. They don't know nothing. They don't know how to eat. Their idea of eating good is pan dulce or café. There's nothing nutritious about that. Tell me you're eating all sugar and.
Life is busy, and when I get busy and don't have time to meal prep, I reach into my freezer and grab a MegaFit meals. MegaFit meals are a macro-friendly meal prep, no subscription required, real quality ingredients. They switch up the menu. You guys, I love them. They're chicken tenders, the margarita pizza, the chicken quesadillas. I mean, this food sounds indulgent, but guess what? It fits right into your macros. Head over to their website and don't you forget to use code JEANINE. That's code Janine for a discount.
Right.
No, and you know what's eye-opening is being a coach and having the visibility of what your clients are eating. And because what I like to do is I like to have them just start tracking. I like to see where you're at so I can meet you there. Then I'm like, oh man, like, okay, listen, this is what I want you to do. I want you to change this up, make it so that you're eating maybe 2 main meals, and I'll kind of start giving, because I can see the way people, they really just lack the knowledge on how to build a meal that's going to be nutritious, that's going to be, give you satiety.
Yes.
It's just, there's a lot of, and you'd think, certain people you think like, oh, this person's going to know. And then you look at their food logs, you're like, oh man, okay, we have some work to do.
And what you mean by nutritious, so you guys don't get it twisted. She's not talking about just salads and oatmeal and things like that. I just had for lunch linguine with ground beef and tomato sauce, basil, all tracked. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. So finish your statement.
So what I'm saying is there's no restrictions. There's no you can't eat bread.
So
or
what
pastas.
makes it nutritious?
For me, satiety and hitting your protein. That's the most important.
Yeah.
That's the most important of all of them.
What makes it nutritious really is having the proper balance of macronutrients.
Yes.
Because you can have the most nutritious micronutrients in your meal, but if you do not have fat in that meal, you're not going to absorb the nutrients from that meal. Preparing a proper balanced meal is what makes it nutritious.
I try to get a little fat in every meal.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a lot because fats are very calorie dense.
Yeah.
But I like to look, and I naturally just do, so I don't have to pay attention. And most people do naturally have some fats in their meal. So it's okay, unless they are trying to avoid them on purpose. But like I like to, when I log a meal, I like to look at it after and go, okay, I like to see at least like 20% of the calories coming from fat.
Yeah.
And then 30 to 40% coming from protein, 30 to 40% coming from carbs.
Yeah.
I kind of just look. But if I just focus on getting my protein in and hitting a certain calorie target, the fat and carbs kind of always end up being where they need to be. I'm okay if the fats are a little higher because it just means carbs will be a little lower and vice versa. Totally fine. That's why that's my method with my clients. Just focus on calories and protein.
Simplified it. And ever since you showed me the method, I've yet once really even looked at how many carbs I take in. You told me don't worry about it, so I didn't worry about it.
I bet you anything. I want you to try a little experiment. Go back through your totals for like a week's worth of totals. I bet you your carbs will land around the same every day. Because naturally, you probably gravitate to a certain style of eating.
Yes, I do.
And so your carbs will be within 10% every day. And even though you don't track them, you'll be hitting a carb target and not even knowing it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know I do. When I look, I'm like, it's always about upper 30s to 40% in carbs.
Like I eat a lot of egg whites. I do the protein pancakes, but I always throw in one whole egg in there for the fat. Mm-hmm. And same thing, I'll do my burgers. If I have enough calories, if it allows me, I'll make 2 fried eggs, get some fat.
Yeah,
there
but you
too.
get fat from the burger too. Even though it's lean,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
still
it's
get
lean.
fat.
Yeah, yeah,
By
it's-
the time you add up all the little things of fat, the fat from the cheese, the fat from the burger,
Yes.
you've got enough fat
Yes.
to be
Yeah,
to
yeah.
help with
Even though it's skim cheese or reduced fat, they're still fat. You're right.
when you add up all the different components, you have enough fat to where you have some nutrient absorption.
Yes.
But there was the fad diet, and because I was this person, I avoided all fats in the early 2000s, I think it was 90s maybe, everything fat free.
I remember that.
My mom would say it's fat free, it's good, it's healthy, but everyone was getting so they looked frail and ill. It's because no nutrient absorption, losing hair. Your teeth weren't looking good. Skin was bad. Nails were brittle. It's because they weren't eating fat, and you need fat to survive. Fat is essential.
Yeah. Not only that is people were gaining a shit ton of weight Because all that fat-free stuff had a ton of sugar in it.
Ton of calories.
Ton of calories.
Yeah.
Because I remember I would get those desserts too. Oh, fat-free, I can eat that. I was stupid.
Yeah.
I fell for the dupe.
You know, I've talked about it on here before,
I
but I
know.
had an addiction to hot tamales, the big movie box of hot tamales.
Ooh, I'm glad I don't like those.
They were 10 for $10.
Ooh.
And I would buy them at Target or the grocery store, 10 for 10. And I would have a box every day of hot tamales. I would eat them all throughout the day. Just, it wouldn't feel like I was eating a lot. And I would just eat, I would eat what I thought was low calorie food or whatever. Then I would have my hot tamales. And one day, I don't know if I learned about calories or I read about calories. I don't know what it was. But I decided to look at the box and figure out how many calories were in a box of hot tamales.
How much?
Guess.
About how
Like-
size?
Like a little bit longer than my phone.
Probably 1,000 calories.
1,100.
Damn.
I was eating 1,100 calories a day in hot tamales.
How about the 4-pack of Twinkies? Remember those? I would smash those fat-free 4-pack of Twinkies.
They were fat free.
They had fat-free ones.
How many calories
And
do
the
you think they were?
Hostess. Probably like 1,000.
It's still out there and it still gets people.
We even look at the Snickers bar. It wasn't bad because they're small, but still, like, okay, it's like almost 300 calories, I think, a Snickers bar. But then the king sizes are like twice as much. But and then we looked at like, we can have a protein bar that tastes just as good as this for less calories.
And that's what food freedom is. That's what we talked about on the
Yes.
last episode. You start to make better choices
Yes.
because of knowledge. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So it's like, okay, if I absolutely wanted some hot tamales, could I have some? Could I divide that box into 4 and have a little pile for 250 calories? Yes. But if I look at this, am I going to have 250 calories of this? Or am I going to make myself a big ass yogurt bowl that I love has more protein for the same amount of calories?
And it's more filling.
What am I going to have?
It's true. And it's more filling.
This is a perfect example, the little hot tamale hand, of someone that says, but I don't really eat that much.
Yeah. Okay. Those are the grazers that go through their Chex Mix or whatever. You know, they have their bowl of mixture of different stuff that they throw in, then they handfuls.
Yeah.
Little handfuls all day grazing.
Yeah.
Those grazing, you just threw down 500 to 1,000 calories
Yeah.
a day grazing. And people don't realize how much they graze.
Yeah.
Like I said, I caught myself.
I graze, but I only
Yes.
graze on blueberries and strawberries.
Yeah.
So I figure at the end of the day, if I ate that extra 100 calories in, it would be like 100 calories would be a lot. That'd be like 200 grams total
Yeah.
of the fruit. I'm like, I can, you know, what I do in my tracker is I set my calories 100 calories less. So I can eat about 1,600 calories a day, but I set my tracker at 1,500
Gotcha. Give yourself some room.
because I know I'm grazing a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm grazing. I'm having some strawberries or whatever. So that kind of accounts for the little bit of grazing.
Okay.
So I keep myself within the 1,500
Yeah.
on most days. And then Saturday is cheat day, and I haven't been tracking cheat day.
We
And
gotta
if I'm
call it
being
a cheat meal, not cheat day.
I know if I'm being completely honest, like I had the 5,000 calorie day that you guys know about. But I think last weekend I probably ate about 3,500 calories, and I need to take that down. I need to take that down to maybe 2,500. I'd be okay with 2,500.
Yeah.
But 3,500, no. Too much.
Too much energy for your frame. You're a 4-cylinder. I'm a
Yeah.
V8.
Yeah.
People don't realize that.
I'm a
And that's-
4-cylinder?
You're a 4-cylinder. I'm a V8 supercharged. Frame wise. And activity level. But you get a lot of steps in. But I
Yeah.
just do something different. My strength training is more intense than yours.
Yeah.
I hit the bag sometimes, so it's another hour plus of steps and hitting the bag. So it depends.
It just depends. I got to keep
Yeah.
my calories no more than 14,000 in a week if I don't want to gain. If I eat more than 14,000 in a week, I'm going to gain body fat that week.
Yeah.
So I have to be mindful.
And some people don't want to accept that. They hate the whole tracking. Like, no, tracking's not healthy. It's bad for your mind, or it's not a good relationship with food. Like, well, what do you suggest then,
I
smart
don't-
ass?
yeah.
You're so smart. So we just have a free
I
for all?
mean, but if that is your thing, that's fine.
Yeah.
But our thing is tracking.
That's it.
The thing about us though is kind of like, think about us as your coach. We're accountants for your body.
Yes.
So if we're the accountants for your body and you start working with us and you want us to work out the finances, but you're like, hey, I don't want to track though, but here's a picture of what I ate or here's the bag of what I bought. figure out my finances. How accurate do you think that accounting is going to be? Not very accurate. We need the receipt.
Yep.
So think about that. Think about we are the accountants for your body. If you want your finances to be on point with very little room for error and you want to reach those financial goals, we need the receipt, not just a picture of what you bought at the store or your shopping bag, because that's not going to do any good.
No. That's why you got to track. That's why you got to put in this. We see the data.
We got to have the data.
Yeah. Same thing in business. You got to have receipts. They got to see everything.
Right.
You can't just guess.
You can't just guess.
The government's gonna be like, wait a minute, you made way more money. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. Look how much money went through your account. And then your books are all off.
Yeah, they're going to be like, but the shopping bag looked like there was only about $200 of product in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how I like to think about it. I come from finance background back in the Netflix days, so I like to think about it like now I'm still in finance, but I'm doing the accounting on your body. So that's why we require you to put in the data so that we have the right numbers to crunch.
Yes, exactly. Sometimes this can be tough for people. Hard to get through them.
Yeah, it's
They're
a
stuck
process.
in their own ways, yeah.
Yeah, it's a process.
Or they
That's
panic.
why coaching is not for everybody.
No.
I've been doing this a long time. I've worked with a lot of people. I always just like to make sure, like that's why I tell people like book into a coaching call, because I will tell you what my program is about. And if it's not for you, please do not buy it.
It's kind of like, I know this ain't the same thing, but it's kind of like people who buy that certain individual online's business coaching program. They think they're ready to be a coach like us, online scale of business, and they're nowhere near that, but they do it anyways. It's like, why would you do that, bro? You're not even there yet.
Yeah.
But they do it anyways.
Yeah, I don't know.
You got to be mentally ready for all this.
I don't know, but sometimes when I tell someone like, hey, I don't think my program's a fit, why do I feel like they want it more?
I know. It's almost like you're like breaking up with them and they want you more.
I'm like, no hard feelings. I just think that there's coaches out there that help people with intuitive eating and find what works best for you.
Yeah.
Like I know people who do, I had someone on the show that her thing is carb cycling. By all means, she's got clients, so there's clients that like to carb cycle. Like, by all means, if that sounds like something that's interesting to you and something you would want to do, then find a coach that does carb cycling. If you want to try time-restricted eating, find someone to help you with fasting. If you want to try carnivore, find someone that specializes in carnivore or, certain, OMAD.
Yeah.
What other diets are out there?
Oh, my God. Keto's still lingering out there, right?
Yeah, but I mean, we can kind of do people who, I have clients who do keto. They still track macros though.
Yeah.
So you can do different nutrition styles within our program. The main component though is that you'd be willing to track your macros.
Yep.
That's the most
Yeah,
important thing.
You got vegetarians in there, right? Or vegan?
I have vegetarian, I have vegan, I have low carb, that's just a nutrition style.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily
Still got
a
to track.
method.
At the end of the day, you still got to track.
Yeah, but if you want to track, if you don't want to track, then we're not the ones for you.
No, we're not the ones for you.
I like to make that.
That's good.
Make that crystal clear. But my 8-week challenge, there's macros, there's tracking, there's workouts, there's
accountability,
good stuff. Any other crazy fad diets? I know. I do remember those pills. Do you remember Ally?
I've never done them, but I've heard of the stupid Hollywood diet, South Beach diet.
Are you answering my question?
Yeah, I remember those pills, Ally. Yes, I do.
Do you remember them?
Yes, those purple ones or something like that.
Do you remember what they do?
Not really, but I remember them.
When you take them, the concept was that they pull the fat out of what you're eating so you're not going to store body fat. And then when you go number 2...
I remember that.
It's like an oil slick.
What? Yeah. Wasn't a doctor pushing that?
Yeah, I don't know if it was a doctor, but all I know is that this is probably Patreon style topic, but when you take those pills, you cannot trust a fart.
I remember that.
Did you take them?
No, hell no.
I took them.
No.
It was not good.
Nope.
It was.
I didn't do those super crazy fat diets. I did the typical bro science bodybuilder, low carb, high protein.
You know why I did those? Because my mom always was doing a fad diet. Like one day she'd be like, I'm going on a diet. And we would go to the store and it'd be like a potato tuna diet. And all she would eat all day long was potatoes and tuna. And then like the next week it'd be some special cayenne pepper lemon stew. And all she would do.
Shit. I remember the drink, the cayenne pepper lemon drink, and you fast. Oh, stupid.
Yeah, she did the crazy. So I learned the crazy diets and methods from her. So I always was like, my mom was always dieting, and she was always overweight.
She didn't know. Then they didn't know. Parents did never know. Grandparents and parents before did not know. We're kind of breaking the mold.
Yeah.
And now your children know. Now they know the game.
Yeah, they know the game.
So they're going to teach their children the game. They're breaking the mold.
Once you know the game, you just know it. That's why I
Yes.
like to tell my clients
I know.
that get a little paranoid or freaked out at first, panic because they don't know. I'm like, I promise you, just take the blockers off. Because when you put the blockers off, like, oh, this is too hard, then you're done. Take those blockers off your head and just think, I'm going to learn this. And when I do, I'm never going to not know it. It's a forever skill that you will have forever, even if you stop tracking, because a lot of people can stop tracking.
Yeah, you learn. You get good at it.
You get good at eyeballing.
Yes.
You get good at, kind of knowing about what your portions should be. You just get really good at it. And what you could do is like you can go off tracking for a while, do your best, and then just monitor your weight weekly. And if things start creeping up, just go back to tracking for a little bit just
That's
to
it.
recalibrate yourself. We're not saying you have to do this forever and be super strict and track every gram of every single thing, but it's just a method that you have to adopt to get to where you want to be, especially if you're hiring a coach that you want to analyze your progress and make adjustments. Then we have to have the data, but it doesn't mean you have to do it forever.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. I think this was episode number 531.
Oh, we're rolling.
Yeah, so we are rolling. But anyways, guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you.